March. Act 1, Scene 3, and go.
Ahoy there, men! What have we here?
Could it be treasure, Captain?
Aye, mate. 'Tis the one sunken treasure, now marooned high and dry on the beach.
'Tis where it stays, or my name ain't Pete the Pirate. Pete the Pirate, could he be?
Aye, mate. 'Tis the pirate who captured my bonny bride.
Help, save me. Could she be?
Aye, that she be.
You mean she was your bride? Now she's soon to be bait for the sharks at high tide. Oh, Joe, could I be one of the sharks, please? No, you cannot be one of the sharks.
I think she thought she'd be in a dress, not in distress.
Why can't Meg be the one to walk the plank? Because Meg's the oldest and the tallest, so she has to play the captain. Let's try it again. And go.
Ahoy there, men! What have we here?
Could it be treasure, Captain?
Aye, mate. 'Tis the one sunken treasure.
Now marooned high and dry on the beach.
Now marooned high and dry on the beach.
And 'tis where it stays, and my name ain't Pete the Pirate. The Pirate of the Parrot. Can I be the parrot? No, you cannot be the parrot. Not be the parrot. That's not funny, Amy. That's not funny, Amy.
Actually, you have to admit, it is pretty funny.
Actually, you have to admit, it is pretty funny. Stop it. Stop it. Yes, stop it! You're ruining my play!
Girls, playtime is over. Your mother will be home soon. Here it is, Christmas Eve, and you haven't finished wrapping your presents yet.
Hannah, they tightened up in Mama's chair.
Wipe off your mustaches, all of you. Look, I found this lovely basket to put all of your mother's presents in, and a piece of ribbon for each of you. Is that a poem, Joe?
Roses are red, violets are blue, flowers are beautiful, and Marmee is too. I want to Marmee like Joe's poem, and I can do the same with the music of the song I wrote for her.
Look, we can organize them all nicely with this lovely knitted scarf that Meg has made. See, like this.
Oh, just in time! Marmee's home! Marmee!
Merry Christmas, Marmee!
We've been waiting! Oh, open your presents!
I know I'm late, but the Hummels have added another member to their family. A healthy, bouncing baby boy. And they've named him Nicholas in honor of the season.
Oh, that's lovely, Marmee.
What a lovely basket. I can always recognize Hannah's handiwork. But my presents can wait. I have a basket of my own. Hannah, will you fetch it? You know the one that I need? What's this? What's this I have here?
Father!
My dearest family, I am well and safe. Winter is a difficult time of year for all of us so far away at war. How I wish I could be home for Christmas. Yet in my absence, I hereby enclose instructions on the distribution of this year's Christmas presents to my little women. For Amy, special vellum for your drawings, as Marmee writes that paper supplies are scarce. Be patient, my little artist. Take your time and make every brush stroke count. For Beth, my budding musician, please accept my reading glasses to help you distinguish between the sharps and flats as you practice on the piano every day. Remember that practice makes perfect. And for Joe, my whimsical writer of plays and stories, I offer you my pen and ink to go with it. Try not to turn your fingers black. I find it helps to use the blotter. And for Meg, my eldest and keeper of the memories I am missing, I ask that you take my scrapbook and fill it for me in my absence. I miss you all so very much. A year seems very long to wait before I see you again. But remember that while we wait, we may all work so that these hard days may not be wasted. Until then, I remain your faithful father and devoted husband. Oh, my little ones. It's Christmas Eve. Father wouldn't want us to be sad now. But let's see how well your new glasses work. Play us a Christmas carol.
I'm going to write Father a nice long letter, thanking him for the pen and ink. I'm going to draw a picture of the first Christmas. The first Christmas Eve. Let's see. You'll need a star and an angel and a candle. And as soon as you're finished, I'm going to add your picture as my first entry in the Father's scrapbook. Sing, Mommy. Holy night, all is calm, all is bright. No, but I see a face in the window at the Laurie's house.
young man, having to be shut up with such an old ogre for a grandfather.
Imagine giving up Italy to live with that awful old man.
I would be terrified to live with him. I wouldn't mind living in such a fine house and having nice things.
I bet you my father, he's got a deep, dark secret. Come away from the window. It's not ladylike to stare at strangers. He won't be a stranger for long. He looks like a capital fellow, and I'm going to get acquainted. Mother always said that neighbors should be neighborly. Are these your mother's slippers under her chair? They are quite worn out. Marmee must have a new pair.
I thought I'd get her some with my dollar. No, I shall.
I'm the oldest.
Well, I'm the man of the family now Papa's gone, and I shall buy the slippers. He told me to take special care of Mother while he was gone.
I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's each get her something for Christmas and not get anything for ourselves.
Oh, Beth, that's so like you. What a good idea.
What shall we get?
Let her think that we're each buying something for ourselves, and, well, that will surprise her. When we must go shopping, Meg, there's lots to do about the play for Christmas night.
I don't see how you can write and act such splendid things, Joe. You're a regular Shakespeare.
Not quite. I do think that the witch's curse in operatic tragedy is rather clever, but I'd like to try with Beth. Is that a dagger I see before me?
No. It's Barbie's umbrella.
Marmee! Oh, my heavens, you're frozen.
You should see all the poor homeless people standing outside the soup kitchen in this bitter cold. And the Hummels are down to their last stick of firewood. How's your cold, Beth? Were the children better behaved, Meg? Joe, you look tired to death. Come, kiss me, baby girl. I have a treat for you after tea.
A letter? A letter! 3 cheers for Father!
A nice long letter. He's well, sends all sorts of loving wishes for Christmas, and a special message to you girls.
Hurry up and get done, Amy. Don't stop to quirk your little finger.
It must be very disagreeable to sleep in a tent, eat all sorts of bad tasting things, and to drink out of a tin cup.
This is the 3rd Christmas without him. Will the war never end?
Will we ever see him again, Marmee?
Of course we will, dear. But we won't ask for him back a moment sooner than he can be spared. And now let's listen to the letter. Give them all my dear love and a kiss. Tell them I think of them by day, pray for them by night, and find my best comfort in their affection at all times. Remind them to always be loving children to you, do their duty faithfully, fight their bosom enemies bravely, and conquer themselves so beautifully that when I come back to them, I may be fonder and prouder than ever of my little women.
I miss him so much, it hurts.
I know you do, dear. Beth, let's sing Silent Night. It's always been one of your father's favorite Christmas carols. for a little dance on New Year's Eve. And it's addressed to Miss Margaret and Miss Josephine. Mrs. Gardner would be happy to see on the occasion of her daughter's engagement and to celebrate the new year.
I want to go to the party. I never get to go anywhere. You're too little. I'm not too little. Please, can I go? I'm glad I don't have to go and be with all those frightened people and try to think of things to say. Nonsense, Beth. Joe, can't you ask Mrs. Gardner if we can come too?
No. What shall we wear? What's the use in asking that when you know we shall wear our poplins because we haven't got anything else?
Oh, Marmee. If only I had silk.
Oh, perhaps on your next birthday.
But I just had a birthday. That means I have to wait nearly an entire year. Joe, your dress.
Oh, I know.
You always stand too close to the fire. Oh, never mind, Joe dear. Just keep your backside to the wall. Meg, I have some cute little heels.
They're rather small.
That's all right. It's only for one night.
You don't suppose anyone will notice they came out of a rag bag, do you?
No. And you need shoes with heels to dance properly.
Remember, Joe, don't eat much and only drink punch. And don't shake hands with anybody. It's not the fashion anymore. Where are your gloves?
Oh, mine are soiled with lemonade. I shall have to go without.
We must both have gloves. Or I won't go. Gloves are more important than anything else.
Why not each of you wear a good one and carry a bad one? They smell. Oh, girls! Beth, take the soiled one and put some cologne on it to cover the sour smell of lemons.
Meg, I want to know everything about Belle Gardner's though. I bet he's ridiculously rich. When I get married, my husband is going to be ridiculously rich.
You'll have to wait your turn. First, Meg will be married, and then Joe. You can skip over me in the line of succession. I have no intention of ever getting married.
Oh no, Meg isn't going to get engaged soon, is she?
Not likely with Joe's help. Is my dress straight? Does my hair look okay?
Oh yes, it's very becoming.
Isn't it time we should be going?
I still don't understand why we can't go. We'll have nothing to do but sit around and wish we were there. It's not fair.
You're weeks behind in arithmetic. Look at the pages I marked that you've skipped. How are you ever going to handle the household accounts for your ridiculously rich husband someday?
Don't sulk. You look like a pigeon.
Coo, coo. Have a wonderful time, dear hearts. Mind your manners and come home promptly at 11 when I send Hannah for you.
You'll be sorry for this Joe March.
Fiddlesticks.
No, stay. If you'd like.
I won't disturb you. Mr. Lawrence, isn't it?
You needn't go away, Miss March. Unless you'd rather.
Please, I'm not Miss March, only Joe.
And I'm not Mr. Lawrence, only Laurie.
Laurie Lawrence? That's an odd name.
My first name is Theodore, but I don't like it, because the fellows called me Dora. So I made them say Laurie instead.
I hate my name too. It's so sentimental. I wish everyone would say Joe instead of Josephine.
You like to dance, Miss Joe?
Oh, I like it well enough when there's plenty of room, but in a place like this, I'm sure to tread on someone's toes or do something dreadful, so I try to keep out of mischief. Don't you like to dance?
Sometimes. You see, I've been abroad a good many years now, and I haven't gotten around enough yet to see how you people do things here.
Rod, oh, tell me about it. I love to hear people describe their travels. Have you ever been to Paris?
We spent last winter there.
Can you speak French?
In school, we weren't allowed to speak anything else.
Do say something in French. I can read it, but I can't speak it.
Quelle noce cette jeune demoiselle a les jolies petites pantoufles.
How nicely you do it. Let's see, you said, who is the young lady in the pretty little slippers, didn't you?
Oui, mademoiselle.
That's my sister Margaret. Do you think she's pretty?
Mais oui, très belle.
And that's my tutor, John Brooke, who has the pleasure of dancing with your beautiful sister.
I suppose he's helping you prepare for college soon.
Not for a year or two. Not until I'm 18, anyway.
Aren't you but 16?
17. Next month.
How I wish I were going to college. You don't look as if you liked the idea.
I hate it. Grandfather insists I go to Harvard.
Well, what would you rather like?
To live in Italy. And to enjoy myself in my own way.
Actually, I'm going to Europe. Well, at least I hope I am. My great Aunt March says she'll go one of these days. She has to take me with her because I work as a companion. I have to read to her for hours on end, but fortunately she falls asleep. If only she didn't snore.
You should become an actress. You do splendid impersonations.
If I weren't going to be a writer, I'd pursue a career on the stage. But that's splendid. Poca, why don't you go and try it?
If you'll come too.
Oh, no, I can't because I promised Meg I wouldn't.
Because what?
You won't tell?
No.
Well, that trick was standing before the fire, and so I burned my fingers, and I scorched this one pretty badly. So I promised Meg I would lay the wallflower and keep still so no one would see.
Never mind that. We can dance grandly in here, and no one will see us. Come on.
I'm sorry, Meg always makes me take the gentleman's part at home.
Don't worry. Follow my lead, my lady.
Meg, what happened?
I sprained my ankle.
Oh, I'm not surprised. And those shoes.
It aches so, and I can hardly stand. I don't know how I'm ever going to manage to walk all the
Oh,
way.
Miss March, I'm so sorry. I'm such a clumsy ass. I can't believe I stepped on your toes. I would never do anything purposely to cause you pain of any kind.
Allow me. John, fetch the footman and call for our carriage.
So early, you can't need to go home
Oh,
yet.
I always go early. I do. Truly. Please, let me take you home. It's all on the way, you know. And what are neighbors for, I ask you?
Of course. Meg, this is our neighbor, Mr. Lawrence's grandson, Theodore. Laurie.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Laurie. You're so kind to offer us assistance.
Pleasure is all mine.
Good night, Miss Marsh. I do hope your ankle is soon healed.
Please, don't worry, Mr. Brooke. It was foolish of me to wear shoes too small for my feet.
But don't fault yourself to spare my feelings. I only hope that you'll give me the chance to redeem my worthiness as a dance partner someday.
Yes, I like that very much.
Oh, how silly of me.
But surely you'll allow me to dance with you again.
No! No, not never. I mean to say, I would be ever so pleased to see you again. Good night. Good night.
Oh. Good night.
Good night, Mr. Brooke. I had to delay.
Mrs. March, the girls are home early. Meg has been injured.
Oh no! Whatever happened? You're home so early.
Did you ride in Mr. Lawrence's carriage?
Where does it hurt?
Was that the boy's tutor who helped make up the step?
Everything exciting happens to Meg. Are you still soaking?
Was the dash lovely?
Your face is flushed, but your bare hand is freezing. Hannah, will you take Meg up to bed? She'll need an extra blanket to keep warm, and I'll be in a moment to wrap her ankle before it swells.
Beth, have you seen my manuscript? I was thinking of changing Sir Lancelot's name to Sir Lawrence, but I can't find it. Amy, you got it.
No, I haven't.
Well, you know where it is then.
No, I don't.
That's a lie, and you better tell it once or I'll make you, I swear.
Scold as much as you like, but you'll never see your silly old book again.
Why not?
I'm burned.
What? My little book I was so proud of and worked so hard on and meant to finish before Father got home. Have you really burnt it?
Yes, I did. I told you I'd make you pay.
Wicked girl! Stop! Kill you! Dare you! I hate you! I hate you! I hate you!
No, Joe, she's your sister. You don't hate her. No, I hate me. I'm sorry, Joe. I really am. Please forgive me.
I will never forgive you as long as I live.
Beth, Amy, it's past your bedtime. Joe, you have every right to be angry, but forgive her trespasses and you can begin again tomorrow.
I can never write it again and I will never forgive her.
Hush now. You'll see things differently in the morning. The first day of a new year and a perfect time to start over. Thank you, Hannah. Show them in.
John Brooke, man. Told me to inquire on the condition of your daughter's ankle that she injured last evening at the gardener's fair.
Thank you, Mr. Brooke, for escorting my daughters home last evening. It was very wise of you to put snow on Meg's ankle.
Actually, that was my idea. Hello, everyone. I'm Theodore Lawrence. I live across the road with my grandfather. Mr. Brooke is my tutor, and we came to see if anybody was interested in ice skating.
Oh, but of course, Miss Margaret.
Glad game. Marmy, may I please go skating with Laurie? Marmy, please.
Yes, you may.
Me too. Hello.
No, but you may use my skates, Miss Joe. I won't be needing them, as I'd rather stay and visit with your sister. I brought these for you, hoping that might make you feel better.
Why, thank you, Mr. Brooke. They're really very lovely.
And I also brought this book of my favorite poetry.
But it's in French. I'm much obliged, but
You don't read French.
not very well. My father, who taught me, is away, and I don't get along very well on my own.
Oh. Well, I'll help you learn, for here is a tutor who loves to teach. Try this passage. Repeat after me. L'amour fait songer, vivre et croire.
L'amour fait songer, vivre et croire.
Il a pour réchauffer le cœur
Il est pour réchauffer le cœur,
un rayon de plus que la gloire,
un rayon de plus que la gloire,
et ce rayon, c'est le bonheur.
et ces rayons, c'est le bonheur.
Very well indeed.
Amy, where are you off to?
Joe said I could go skating next time she did.
But you were very naughty, and you can't expect her to forgive you so soon. Oh, I guess she will, since she's surely more good-natured with Laurie around. Just kiss her and do some kind thing, and I'm sure she'll be friends again with all her heart.
I'll try.
You're an excellent tutor, Mr. Brooke. I only wish I enjoyed teaching as much as you do. I'd be a much better governess.
Well, I think you would if you had Laurie for a pupil. I should be very sorry to lose him next year.
Going to college, I suppose.
Yes, it's time he went, for he is ready. And as soon as he is off, I shall turn soldier. I'm needed.
I'm glad of that. I should think every young man should want to go, though it is hard for the mothers and sisters who stay at home.
I have neither. And very few friends to care whether I live or die.
Laurie and his grandfather care a great deal. And we should not want any harm to come to you either.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
Slow down, Joe. I have something very interesting to tell you.
What is your news? Let's hear it.
It's a secret. And if I tell you, you must tell me yours.
I haven't got any.
Well, you know you have. Everyone does. So, come on, fess up and tell me. Or you don't get to know mine. You first.
Promise you won't tell anyone?
Not a word. I promise.
Well, I sent off 2 stories to the Concord Journal. I was working on a 3rd, but Amy. Anyway, I should hear back from the editor of the newspaper by next week.
Well, hurrah for Miss Josephine March! A pour femme celebre.
Hush. It won't come to much, I dare say, but I couldn't rest till I had tried, and I didn't say anything because I didn't want anyone else to be disappointed. What's your secret?
Well, I might get in trouble for telling you this, but I didn't promise not to, so I will. I know where Meg's glove is.
Is that all?
Well, just wait till I tell you where it is.
Tell then. Well, how do you know?
I saw John pick it up, kiss it, and shove it into his pocket. Isn't that romantic?
No, that's disgusting.
You aren't to tell anyone, remember?
I didn't promise.
It was understood. I trust you.
Oh, I won't. But I do wish you hadn't told me.
I thought you'd be pleased.
Had the idea of anyone falling in love with Meg and coming to take her away.
You'll feel better about it when someone falls in love with you and comes to take you away.
I should like to see anyone try.
So should I.
Joe! Wait for me! I want to go skating with you in that large store! Or her. Hurry up before she catches up with us.
Shame on you, Josephine.
I thought you tried to be ready. Amy!
she alive? Are you sure she's safe? Quite safe, dear. Oh, she won't even take cold. You were so sensible in covering her up and getting her home quickly.
Laurie did it all. I refused to wait for her. Marmee, if she should die, it would be my fault. It's my dreadful temper. I try to cure it. I think I have, and then it breaks out worse than ever.
You think your temper is the worst in the world, but mine used to be just like it.
Yours, Mother? You're never angry.
I'm angry nearly every day of my life. I've just learned not to show it.
However do you learn the patience to keep still? That's what troubles me. The sharp words fly out before I know what I'm about. The more I say and the louder I say it, the less others listen to me or care what I have to say. Tell me how you do it.
Here's how I've learned to check the hasty words that fly to my lips. I try to remember Aesop's fable of the north wind and the sun.
I remember that one.
Once the north wind and the sun each argued that he was the stronger one. At last they decided, before they got hoarse, that he'd be the stronger who was soonest to force a man on the road to take off his coat.
So the north wind blew through his icy throat as hard as he could with a howl and a holler, just making the man tightly button his collar.
But when it became the sun's turn to try, he shone quietly down from an unclouded sky. Then the man got warm, and the test was soon done.
So he took off his coat, and so the sun won.
Gentle persuasion, stronger than fits of force. Now go be the sun, and warm your little sister's heart with a smile and a hug.
Unexpectedly, and then you dash out as an heir to scorn anyone who ever slighted you. Go abroad and come home, my lady, something in a blaze of splendor and elegance.
I'm afraid people don't have fortunes left them in that style nowadays. Men have to work and women have to marry for money. It's a dreadfully unjust world.
Joe and I are going to make the fortunes for you all. Just wait 10 years and see if we don't.
Can't wait. But I'm afraid I haven't much faith in ink and paint. So I'm grateful for your good intentions.
Two pleasant things are going to happen right away. For Marmee is coming down the road, and Laurie is tramping across the Lawrence lawn as if he had nice news to tell.
Any letter from Father, girls?
Mother, did anyone care to go on a carriage ride with me? Been plowing away at mathematics all day, and my head hurts. So, I'd like to freshen my wits with some fresh air. Oh, come, Joe. And Beth, you'll come, won't you? Amy! I'll let you ride in front with the driver if you like.
Of course we will.
Much obliged, but I'm busy.
Sourpuss. Anything I can do for you, Madam Mother?
No, thank you. Oh, except stop at the post office if you'll be so kind, dear. It's our day for a letter and the penny postman hasn't been by.
Oh, my stars in heaven above. I had to sign for this cashier's check for Miss Joe.
shall go at once, for I fear it may be too late.
May the Lord keep the dear man, but I won't waste any time crying. I'll get your things together right away, ma'am.
She's right. There's no time for tears now. Be calm, girls, and let me think. Where's Laurie?
Here, ma'am? Oh, please let me do something. The horses are ready. I'd go anywhere. Do anything.
Send a telegram saying I will come at once. If there's a train goes out this evening, I'll take that. Joe, get me pen and paper. I need you to deliver a note to Aunt March and wait there for a reply. On the way back, you can stop at the pharmacy. I'll give you my standard list of supplies. I'll need to go prepared for nursing, as hospital stores are not always good. Shanna, will you ask Mr. Lawrence's cook for a couple of bottles of old wine? I'm not too proud to beg. Father shall have the best of everything. Amy, Beth, go to the back closet and get the black trunk. Meg, you can come and help me collect my things.
What have I always said? How many times have I told you it was absurd for your father to join the army? I predicted no good would come of it. I hate to say it about my own flesh and blood, but your father is an idiot, a child, and your mother, she was a fool for marrying him in the first place.
My father has more worldly wisdom in his little finger than all the emperors in China and Japan put together. And Marmee is good and kind and incredibly brave and selfless. We don't need your money or your advice. Thank you for your time.
Put the trunk by the front door, dears.
This is all packed, Marmee. I can't think of anything else we forgot.
Thank you. The household accounts are in this ledger.
Don't worry about us. Hannah's here to help us.
Beth, will you look in on the Hummels for me? The baby was running a fever yesterday.
I will, Marmee.
Where's Joe? It's almost 6 o'clock.
Still coaxing the cost of a railway ticket out of her Aunt March, ma'am.
John! Mr. Brooke.
Let's pack this up, and grandfather sends 2 bottles of his best port as regards to Sergeant March.
Yes, and the elder Mr. Lawrence has commissions for me in Washington, and so I've come to offer myself as an escort to your mother.
How kind you all are. It'll be such a relief to know you'll be with Mother.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
We couldn't let you go alone. Where's Joe?
Here I am.
$25? Can Aunt March spare this much?
I couldn't bear to ask her, so I cut my hair.
Christopher Columbus!
You one beauty!
Oh, no. I would have given you the money myself.
There was no need of this.
What made you do it?
Well, I was wild to do something for Father. I tried cashing the check that came in the mail this morning for one of my stories, but it was only $5. I hadn't the least idea of selling my hair at first, but well, in the barber's window next door to the pharmacy, I saw tails of hair with the prices marked, and
I don't see how you dared to do it.
Didn't you feel dreadfully when the first cut came?
I took one last look at my hair while the man got his things, and that was the end of it. I kept a long walk. I'll give it to you so you can press it in Father's scrapbook for remembrance.
Thank you, Joe dear. I love you dearly for it.
Laurie, let's have with the carriage, Mrs. Marsh. And we left at the station. We don't want to track.
Children, I leave you to Hannah's care, for Hannah is faithfulness itself. Don't grieve or fret while I'm gone. Hope and keep busy, and remember, whatever happens, you can never be fatherless.
Yes, Mother.
Remember, dear, be prudent. Watch over your sisters, and consult Hannah in any perplexity. Be patient, Joe. Don't be despondent or do rash things. But be my brave girl, ready to help and cheer us all. Beth, you comfort yourself with your music and be faithful to the little home duties. And you, Amy, help all you can. Be obedient and keep happy and safe.
We will, Mother. We will.
Goodbye, my darlings. God bless and keep us all.
Feels as if there's been an earthquake.
It's as if half the house was gone.
Hope and keep busy. I find anxiety to be very interesting.
Joe, what's the matter? Are you crying about Father?
No, not now.
What then?
My hair. I'm not sorry. I'd do it again tomorrow if I could. It's just the selfish, vain part of me that goes and cries in this silly way. I don't tell anyone. It's all over now. I thought you were asleep.
I can't sleep. I'm so anxious.
Well, think of something pleasant and you'll soon drop off.
I've tried it and felt more wide awake than before.
What did you think about?
Handsome faces. Eyes, particularly.
What color do you like best?
Brown. That is sometimes blue. Lovely.
How am I expected to recover in these conditions? My mind is agitated. Read to me again, Abigail. Letters from our girls provide such comfort.
I'm afraid our girls are becoming little women.
A word I won't even recognize them.
Oh, physically perhaps. Yet each of our daughters possesses her own unique spirit, her own special way of expressing her love and concern. Here, listen. Hannah writes that Meg is taking her role as mistress of the house quite seriously. She sits at the head of the table, and Hannah has taken to calling her Miss Margaret out of respect for her newly attained status. While Joe has not only sold another story, but she sought and secured employment at the Concord Lending Library.
Splendid!
Where she can read and write to her heart's content. And Joe, Beth is the one who keeps the home fires burning. Not only does she help Hannah with the daily chores, but we can trust our Beth to tend to any and all living creatures. And not just the garden and the birds, but she will take my place with the sick and the poor.
And Amy? The youngest missed their mother's most.
This I admit, even
And why should that surprise you?
I thought Joe was impatient with the old soul, but really, truly, Joseph, I think your aunt has met her match in Miss Amelia Curtis March.
Oh, Abigail, we should be very proud of all four of them.
Because all four of them are so very proud of their father, that they would do anything to help you. From cut their hair to follow you into battle if women were allowed to fight in men's wars. Now rest. You've exerted yourself too much. Rest, and I will read to you from Isaiah.
No story to tell. We're just friends. You and Laurie can be friends.
Oh, speak of the devil.
I have news. I've been accepted to Harvard.
Congratulations. We're so proud of you.
I'm so jealous. You're going to come back knowing all sorts of things I'll never know. I wish I were going with you.
Oh, I wish you could go too. In fact, I wish you could take my place. And wait till I get my degree and I'm done with school once and for all. Then, finally fulfill my dreams and be out from under grandfather's thumb.
Wouldn't it be fun if all the castles in the air we build in our dreams could come true and we could live in them?
Oh, how good it is to be home. Hello, Laurie. Joe, however did you do it day in and day out, catering to that old woman's whims?
At least she lets you paint to pass the time.
Teacups. She has me painting little tiny flowers on all of her fine china teacups. Well, I'm sick to death of peonies and petunias when I really want to paint landscapes and sunsets.
You'll need these books I borrowed, and here's your British poetry collection, and well, I could have sworn Tale of Two Cities was a 2-volume set.
I won't be taking all of Dickens to Harvard with me.
Oh, Laurie, you've been accepted to Harvard. Congratulations.
Only Laurie was just telling us that going to Harvard is not one of his castles in the air.
Built so many in my mind. It'd be hard to choose.
You have to make your favorite one. What is it?
Favorite castle would actually be a ship. And I'd sail the 7 seas and see all of the world there is to see.
I dream of traveling too, especially to Europe. I could see art museums and cathedrals and hear beautiful symphonies and operas in places like Florence and Vienna.
What's yours, Meg?
She's like a lovely house filled with luxurious things. Delicious food, pleasant people, lovely clothes, and heaps of money. I should be mistress of it and manage it as I like, and have plenty of servants, so I don't have to work a bit.
Wouldn't you have a master for your castle in the air?
I said pleasant people, didn't I?
Why don't you say you have a splendid, wise, good husband and some angelic little children? You know, your castle wouldn't be perfect without.
You'd have nothing but horses, inkstands, and novels in yours.
Wouldn't I, though? I'd have a stable full of Arabian steeds, rooms piled full of books, and I'd ride out of a magic inkstand. But I want to do something splendid before I go into my castle. something heroic or wonderful that won't be forgotten after I'm dead. I don't know what, but I'm on the watch for it, and I mean to astonish you all someday.
Quite the ambitious set, aren't we? Each of us wants to be rich and famous. I wonder if anyone will get our wishes.
Well, I've got the key to my castle in the air, but whether I can unlock the door remains to be seen.
Got the key to mine, just not allowed to use it. Hang college.
Here's mine. I haven't got any.
Yes, you have.
Where?
In your face.
Nonsense. It's of no use.
See if it doesn't bring you something worth having.
Lucas, what's the matter?
You've had scarlet fever, haven't you?
Years ago when Meg did, but Amy hasn't. Why?
I'll tell you. Oh, Joe, the baby's dead.
Your homo baby?
Yes. It died in my lap.
Poor Beth, how dreadful. I ought to have gone.
It wasn't dreadful, Meg. Only so sad. I saw at once the baby was sicker. And little Laurie told me their mother had gone to fetch the doctor. At first, baby seemed to be asleep. All of a sudden, it gave a little cry and trembled. And then lay very still, and I knew it was dead.
What did you do?
I sat and I held it softly till Mrs. Hummel came home with the doctor. He said it was dead. And at first he was very hard on Mrs. Hummel. Scarlet fever, ma'am. Should have called me sooner, he said. Then Mrs. Hummel explained that she was very poor. Had tried to save her baby herself, but it was too late. Only ask him to help with the others and trusted charity for his pay. He smiled then. He was kinder. It was so sad. And I cried with them. Turned around all of a sudden and told me I better go home quick. Take some medicine or else I'd have the fever.
Oh, you won't. Oh, only Mother were here. I'll get Hannah. She knows about sicknesses. Hannah! Beth, if you should be sick, I'll never forgive myself. Hannah! It's Beth. All right, now I'll tell you what we'll do. Joe, you go and get Dr. Beth.
Just to take a look at you, dear.
And Amy, we'll send you off to your Aunt March at Plumfield, just for some, just to keep you out of harm's way, dear. And Meg, you can stay at home and help nurse our little Beth.
Don't cry, Amy.
But I don't wish to go to Aunt March's and be cast off as if I were in the
But
way.
it's to keep you well. Scarlet fever is no joke. I remember barely surviving it myself. You don't want to be sick now, do you?
No. But I dare say I shall be, for I've been with Beth all this
That's
time.
the very reason you ought to leave at once. To escape it. No, don't cry. Listen to what a jolly plan I've got. You go to Aunt March's, and I'll come and take you out every day. We'll go riding or walking, and we'll have capital times. That sounds better than hanging around here, doesn't it?
But it's so dull at Aunt March's, and she's so very cross.
It won't be dull with me popping in every day to tell you how Beth is, to take you out gallivanting. The old lady likes me, and I'll be as clever with her as possible. She won't peck at us, whatever we do.
Will you take me out in your carriage
On my honor as a gentleman.
and come every single day?
See if I don't.
And bring me back the minute Beth as well.
The identical minute.
Well, I guess I can go.
How is she?
She's laying in Mother's bed and says she feels better. What a trying world it is. No sooner do we get out of one trouble than down comes another.
Well, tell me if I shall telegraph to your mother, or to any.
That is what troubles me. I think we ought to tell her if Beth is really ill, but Hannah says we mustn't, for Mother can't leave Father and only make them anxious.
Well, maybe we ask Grandfather? After the doctor's been here.
If Mrs. March can leave her husband, she'd best be sent for.
I saw Dr. Banks leaving just now. He was walking so slowly, shaking his head. Oh, what is it? Has Beth gotten worse?
Doctor says we need to send for Mother.
No, Joe. It can't be as bad as that.
Yes, it is. She doesn't know us. She doesn't even look like my Beth. With Mother and Father both gone. God feels so far away, I can't find him.
I'm still here. You know me.
Teddy, why do all the good and dear people have to die?
There. It's not like you to be forlorn. Your mother will be home soon, and everything will be all right.
I almost forgot I have to send that telegram to the hospital right away.
No. I've already done it. On Grandfather's suggestion, I telegraphed to your mother yesterday. And Brooke responded saying she'd come at once. She'll be here tonight, and everything will be all right. Aren't you glad I've done it?
Laurie, I'm so glad. I didn't mean to. You were just such a dear to go and do that in spite of Hannah. I couldn't help flying at you. Laurie, you're an angel. How can I ever thank you?
Fly at me again. I rather like it.
Mr. Laurie. You are the most interferingest chap I have ever seen. But I forgive you. And I do hope that Mrs. March will be along soon.
Fetch a basin of water, vinegar, and rags. We need to draw the fever down from her head.
Mommy.
It's all right. Mommy's here. Heavens, this child can't breathe.
and babes, apples and grapes, coat and 6 white horses. Shabbat, don't you cry, go to sleep, little baby.
You're home! You're more handsome than ever.
I'm sure the sewing done by these pricked fingers will last a long time. So much goodwill went into the stitching.
Oh, and what about Jo? Oh, do say something nice. She's worked ever so hard. Has been so very, very good to me.
Is that so? Well, in spite of the cropped hair, I don't see the son, Joe, whom I left behind to mind the women. I see a young lady whose face is worn thin and pale with watching and anxiety. I'll rather miss my wild girl, but I'm glad that the shearing has sobered our black sheep.
Mr. Brooke,
Good day, Miss Margaret.
please come in.
Well, I came for my umbrella. That is, I came to see how your father finds himself today.
It's very well. He's here in the corner. I mean, I'll tell him you're here.
Oh, please. Don't go. Are you afraid of me, Margaret?
How could I be when you've been so kind to Father? I only wish I could thank you for it.
Shall I tell you how?
Oh no, please.
I only want to know if you care for me a little. Meg, I love you so much.
I don't know.
Will you try and find out? For I can't go to work with any heart until I learn whether to have my reward in the end or not.
I'm too young.
I'll wait. And in the meantime, you could be learning to like me. Would it be a very hard lesson to learn, do you think?
Not if I chose to learn it, but
Please, choose to learn.
Bless me. What is this?
this is Father's friend. I'm so surprised to see you, Aunt March.
That's obvious. But what is Father's friend saying to make you blush like a rose? There's mischief going on here, and I insist on knowing what it is.
Father's in his office, John. Down the hall, first door on the left. We were merely talking. Mr. Brooke came for his umbrella.
Mr. Brooke? The Lawrence's boy's tutor? Then it's true. You haven't gone and accepted him, have you, child?
Shh, please, Aunt March. He might hear you. Shall I tell Mother you're here?
Not yet. I have something to say to you first. Do you plan on marrying the charlatan? For he's a rook and a crook, and if you do, not a penny of my money will ever go to you.
Aunt March, how dare you suggest such a thing? My John wouldn't marry for money any more than I would. I'm not afraid of being poor, for I've been happy so far and shall be happy with him too. Because he loves me and I love him.
Well, Miss High and Mighty, is that how you take my advice? You ought to marry well and help your family. It is your duty to make a rich match. I thought you had more sense than that, Mick.
I couldn't do better. I waited half my life. John is good and wise. Everyone likes and respects him. And I'm proud to think that he cares for me.
You are a willful child. Don't expect any doorway. I wash my hands of the whole affair. Abigail! Abigail! Where are you, Abigail?
Oh, my darling. I couldn't help it over here. Thank you for defending me and for proving that you do care for me. You do, don't you?
Yes, John.
Oh, well, now I must go and ask your father for your hand. Sister Joe, congratulate us.
Meg, how could you? What about your dream castle filled with luxurious things and plenty of servants?
Meg, Aunt Jo has just told me about your plans with John. Your father will be so pleased.
And what about you, Marmee? Are you pleased at the prospect of Meg marrying a man who is as poor as a church mouse? Aunt March has always said that the eldest daughter should marry well for the sake of the family.
I would rather Meg marry for love and be a poor man's wife than marry for riches and lose her self-respect.
Marmee.
Oh, my dear girls, I am ambitious for you, but not to have you marry rich men merely because they are rich, or have splendid houses which are not homes because love is lacking. I want all my daughters to be ambitious and good, to be admired, loved, and respected, and to lead useful, pleasant lives with as little care and sorrow to try them as God sees fit to send. My hope is the same as that of all mothers, the desire to see all their children happy.
Well, how can we be happy if our family is splitting up and falling apart?
Joe, John knows I'm too young just yet to leave home, and he plans to serve a couple years in the army, so that gives you plenty of time to get used to the idea and to get to know John. And when you do, I know you'll love him too.
Leave these things to time, and for now, let's keep this home happy by being happy for one another. Joe?
I'm happy for you, Meg.
Really? Truly, Joe?
Really, truly.
Oh, girls' quarrels are soon over. Now let's see if we can go find Aunt March and convince her that while money is a needful and useful thing, her nieces should not be bullied into thinking it is the first and only prize to strive for.
I just realized why Aunt March never married. She never believed anyone loved her for herself. Only her money. Poor dear.
Is poor old rich Aunt March.
What's this about poor old rich Aunt March? Pity poor me. That's a sight you'll never see.
serve as a symbol of your marriage and never-ending devotion to one another, it is time to exchange rings.
Heaven and earth will cease to be, but not my love for you, but not my love for you, but not my love for you, eternally. Heaven and earth will cease to be, but not my love for you, 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 eternally.
And there to have pledged their troth, each to the other by giving and receiving a ring, I pronounce that they are man and wife, and may God bless, preserve, and keep you and yours forever safe and sacred in the palm of his hand. Amen.
Amen. How lovely it is to see you on such a lovely day, ma'am.
Lovely, you say. You know who's lovely. Amy is here, of course.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Can you believe she wore all black?
How are you feeling these days, Miss Elizabeth? Won't you please play us the tune?
Oh, of course, Dr. Banks. And I'm feeling quite well, thank you. What may I play for you?
To a Wild Rose was always Mrs. Banks' favorite.
Joe, you know Mrs. Kirk and her daughters. Mr. Kirk and I served together at Bull Run in Gettysburg.
Yes, may my husband rest in peace. He always considered your father's family an extension of his own. We're very happy to have you with us today. What are your names?
I'm Kitty, and she's Minnie.
Minnie, don't be shy. Say hello to Miss March.
Well, I do wish your grandfather could have come from London. And I understand that you're to join his company that you graduated from Harvard.
Yes, he's even bought a new sign for his London office. Business stationery with Lawrence and Lawrence embossed on the letterhead.
London? Laurie, how lucky you are.
I am happy for you, dearie, though I do believe you will be sorry for it. You have a treasure, young man. See to it that you deserve it.
What do you suppose is wrong with Jo? Think she's ill? Maybe you should check on her.
I think her pain is emotional rather than physical. And I'm sure she'd rather you just tell her troubles too.
Attention, everyone. Please come into the dining room. It's time to cut the cake.
Save me a corner piece with plenty of icing.
Girls, it's time to come inside. Minnie, let me fix your hair. Minnie? Minnie, you don't have to hide. Come on.
What's the matter, Jo? What is it?
Laurie, why can't we just stay as we are? Why did Meg have to go and fall in love and spoil all our peace and fun and happy times together? I feel like I've lost my big sister forever.
still got me. I'm not good for much, I know, but I'll stand by you all the days of my life.
No, you will. You know what a comfort you are to me, Laurie.
Joe?
Laurie, please don't say what I think you're going
I
to
will.
say.
You must hear me. We've got to have it out, and the sooner the better for both of us. You've been avoiding me ever since I got back from college, and you haven't even acknowledged that I graduated cum laude, even though I did it all for you.
I know, and I'm so very proud of you. Really, truly.
Joe, I've loved you ever since I saw you from the window. I tried to show it, but you wouldn't let me. Now you will hear me, and you will give me an answer, for I can't go on like this any longer.
I wanted to save you this. I thought you'd understand.
I know you did. And men are so odd. I never know what they mean when they say yes, when they mean no, and they drive a man completely out of his wits just for the fun of it.
I don't. I never wanted to make you care for me in that way.
Because I'm not half good enough for you. Joe, you loved me. You should be a perfect saint. You could change me into anything you'd like.
I never want to change you, Laurie. You should marry some lovely, accomplished girl who adores you and who would know how to act in the proper circles. I hate elegant society, and you'd love it, and you'd hate my scribbling, and I couldn't get on without it. And you know we'd quarrel.
I'd let you win every argument.
Except for this one. Laurie. I'm so desperately sorry. I'm so grateful and so fond and so proud of you. I don't know why I can't love you the way you want me to. I've tried, but I can't change the feeling, and it would be a lie to say I do when I don't.
Really, truly, Joe.
Really, truly, my dearest friend. If it makes you feel any better, I don't think I'll ever be married. I'm happy as I am and love my liberty too much to give it up for any man.
I know better. I think so now. There'll come a time when you do care for somebody. You love him tremendously. You'll live for him, you'll die for him, and I'll be hanged if I just stand by and watch it.
Laurie, where are you going?
To the devil!
What is it, Joe, dear? You're not still upset about Meg's marriage to John, are you?
No. Well, yes, but no. It's more than that now. I don't know how to say what I feel. It's just, I wish for so many things.
Go on. You may say anything to your mother. For it is my greatest happiness and pride to feel that my daughters can confide in me and know how much I love them. What are your wishes?
I'll tell you one of them, Mother. I long for something new. I'm restless and anxious to be doing, seeing, learning more than I am. I brood too much in my own small affairs and need stirring up. So, as I can be spared this summer, I'd like to hop a little way and try my wings.
Where will you hop?
To New York. Mrs. Kirk today expressed her need of some respectful young person to teach her children and be their governess. I think I should suit if I tried.
My dear girl, do you mean to go out in service in a public boarding house in the middle of New York City?
It's not exactly going into service, Mother. Mrs. Kirk is a family friend, and she'd make things pleasant for me, I know. She and her daughters live separately from the rest, and no one knows me there. Don't care if they do. It's honest work, and I'm not ashamed of it.
Oh, nor I. But you're writing.
All the better for the change. I'll see and hear new things, get new ideas, and even if I haven't much time there, I shall bring home a large quantity of material that will be sure to improve the quality of my writing.
No doubt of it. But are these your only reasons for this sudden fancy?
No, Mother.
May I know of the others?
Well, it may be vain and wrong of me to say, but well, I'm afraid that Laurie is getting too fond of me.
Then you do not care for him in the ways it is evident he is beginning to care for you.
Mercy, no. I love the dear boy as I always have, and I'm immensely proud of him. But as for anything more, it's out of the question.
Well, I'm glad of that.
Why do you say that?
Because I don't think you're well suited to one another. That as friends, you are very happy, and your frequent quarrels soon blow over. But I fear you would both rebel if you were mated for life. You're too much alike. You're too fond of your freedom to get along happily together. Marriage is a relation which requires infinite patience, forbearance, as well as love.
It's exactly how I felt, only I couldn't express it. Well, I'm glad you think he's only beginning to care for me. It would trouble me sadly to think I made him unhappy, but I can't fall in love with the dear fellow merely out of gratitude, could I?
Of course not.
I don't think I'll ever be married like Mag, or for that matter, ever live what anyone might call an ordinary life.
John, you have so many extraordinary gifts. How can you expect to live an ordinary life? You're ready to go out and find a good use for your talent. Go and embrace your liberty and see what wonderful things come of it. But always remember what lies before you and what lies behind you. Pale in comparison to what lies within you.
Mother, I love you.
I love you. I don't know what I shall do without my Joe.
I promise to write every day, and I'll come home for birthdays and for holidays and whenever you and Father may deem necessary.
Let's not worry about you coming home. We have to get you there first. I'll talk to Father about it, and if he agrees, we'll talk to Mrs. Kirk in the morning. Oh, come, dear. Let's go to bed. It's been a long day.
Miss Josephine March.
It is a pleasure, Miss March.
Professor?
Come with me, girls. It's time for your lessons.
Well, there are some pleasant people in the house. You're feeling sociable, and your evenings are always free. My rooms are always open. Make yourself at home. Your room is small, but feel free to use this parlor here to read and write to your heart's content. Come to me if anything goes wrong, and be as happy as you can.
Thank you, Mrs. Kirk.
Welcome. Oh, there's the bell for tea. Come with me, and I'll tell you more about where the girls are in their studies. Now, Kitty loves math, but can't spell, while Minnie learns a new word every day. Can't remember her multiplication tables past 5 times 5.
Excuse me, I was looking for Mr. Dashwood, editor of the Weekly Volcano. I had an appointment to see Mr. Dashwood. Are you Mr. Dashwood?
That's my name. What's yours, young lady?
March, Josephine March, published author. I left a manuscript of my latest in a series of adventure stories with your office last week. They said to leave it in your perusal.
March, you said. And the title of this thrilling tale of yours?
Countess Vladimir's Revenge.
Ah, yes. Here it is. Countess Vladimir's Revenge by J.M. March. Oh, you're a woman. Well, that explains all this romantic nonsense and tell me where I've plot. No, I'm afraid we're not interested here at the Volcano. I'd recommend you take your magazine to a woman's magazine.
Please, what would better suit your readers? I can make alterations, omit passages to make it just the right length.
I'm sorry, miss, but our readers aren't interested in melancholy sentiment and fantasy in the form of fairy tales.
They're not fairy tales.
Look, miss, I'm a busy man. And quite frankly, my dear, we have more of this sort of thing on hand than we know what to do with at the moment. Good day.
Good day, sir. Thank you for your time.
Sorry, I was not paying attention. Here, let me.
No, it's my fault. I should always be in such a hurry.
Oh, but your manuscript. We must try to save some pages as best we can.
Thank you, but I'm not sure it's worth saving.
Oh, nonsense. Here, come in Mrs. Cook's parlor. We can use some of my books to press the pages that way.
Thank you.
You know I've known you're a writer since the first day Mrs. Cook introduced us.
How did you know?
I know many who claims the pen is their profession.
Did you bring all these books with you from Germany?
Yes. I had them shipped from Berlin, where I was a professor at the university. I sold everything I had to come to America. Everything but my books.
May I?
Please. I could read Shakespeare's plays over and over again. Do you like the Bard of Avon?
Yes, Macbeth is my favorite. Come, thick night, and pall thee in the dullest smoke of hell, so that my keen knife see not the wound it make, nor heaven peep through the curtain of the dark to cry, hold! Hold!
Hold. Hold. You may borrow any or all of my books at any time for anything. For pressing paper or waxing point.
Thank you. Oh, Milton, Paradise Lost. Oh, some of these titles are so familiar, I'm reminded of home and family.
Do you miss your family?
Yes, very much. Especially my sisters. And Laurie.
An aunt, perhaps? Or a favorite uncle?
No, he's a friend. Goethe. I adore Goethe. My father has a collection of all the German poets in translation.
How unusual.
This volume's in German. Will you translate it for me? The passage you have marked on this page.
Yes, it. None but the lonely heart. Only he who knows what longing is knows what I suffer. Alone and parted from joy and gladness, my senses fail. Burning fire devours me.
My senses fail. Burning fire devours me. Oh, if only I could write something like that. Something splendid that would set other hearts on
I
fire.
have no doubts that you are destined to make a difference. Your passion for written verse is most evident in New York. Is the perfect place for you to pursue your passion. So much inspiration for my own writing I find here, from the art museums and the galleries, to the opera and the theatre. Perhaps you would permit me to show you the sights and sounds of this great American city.
I would be very obliged, Professor Bear.
Friedrich. Call me Friedrich.
Dankeschön, Friedrich.
Bitte. Auf Wiedersehen, Josephine.
Kitty, slow down. Take your time. Why must you always be in such a hurry?
I'm only trying to get done so we can play. I don't like to sew. Not me. Cross stitches are my favorite.
Let me finish wording this final sentence and I promise we'll play.
Oh, bother.
Just learn to take your time like Minnie does. Well, all right. Minnie, bring your turtle. I have a friend for him in my sewing basket.
It's a bunny rabbit.
Yeah, it's a pup bunny rabbit. Kitty, would you like to make a move while I tell you the story of the tortoise and the hare? A turtle started a fuss with a rabbit. Which one of us, he said, would win in a race? Come on, let's begin.
Come on, let's begin.
Well, the rabbit thought this was a joke, but thus to the turtle he spoke. All right, old creepy, let's go, though both of us already know I'm as fast as you are slow. As a racer, you'll soon be through. Pooh, pooh, I say.
Pooh, pooh.
And then the rabbit was gone, and soon out of sight, while on inch by inch the turtle stopped. While the rabbit ran, he walked. But this particular rabbit had long been in the habit of taking a nap in the hay at just this time of day. So now it seemed to him best to lie down for a short little rest. Since no one was there to record it, he thought he could well afford it. His eyes had no sooner closed than he got sleepy and dozed. And while the rabbit was sleeping, the turtle came creeping and creeping till he was the first to come in, gleefully panting, I win! I win!
And the moral is, slow and steady wins the race.
Girls, it's time to come inside and wash your hands and faces for tea.
Don't go, Miss Josephine. I have a surprise for you.
Ah, ridiculous. For me?
For us. That is, if you would do me the pleasure of accompanying me to see Aida this Friday night.
Yes!
Miss Josephine, you have visitors.
Visitors for me? Oh, who could it be? Amy? my Beth.
And how's your dear old Aunt March, do you suppose?
Sorry, Aunt March. So good of you to come see me, but to what do I owe this unexpected visit?
Amy and I are on our way to Europe.
Oh, Joe, dear, I wish you could go. I know how you've always wanted to go abroad.
Well, maybe you could go next time. But we must be off. We must be to the shipping office before it closes.
Not before you tell me about Beth.
Very well.
She's well again, but is still very weak. She sleeps a lot, and I'm afraid she does not have the energy like she used to.
Poor sweet Beth. Why can't she ever get strong again? And Laurie?
But didn't you see him while he was here? He's been in London for weeks.
Laurie was in New York, and he didn't come to see me.
Well, you can't blame the man, can you? The way you picked up and sauntered off to the big city without saying goodbye to any of us. Shame on you.
Why London?
Laurie's grandfather has a branch of business that needs attending to, and he sent Laurie, though he tells me he plans to go to Italy on holiday. Perhaps our paths will cross in Florence or Rome.
Imagine all the art you'll see, the Da Vinci's, the Michelangelos. You'll have to write and tell me of all your adventures and discoveries.
I will, Joe. I promise.
Amy, you seem to forget that a waiting taxi cab costs money. That's the problem with people who can't appreciate the value of the dollar. Here today, gone tomorrow. Goodbye, Josephine.
Goodbye, Joe. I love you. I love you.
Travel safely. About Laurie.
What does it matter, Miss Josephine? Is there anything I can do for you?
Please don't pay any attention to me. It always seems to happen at once. I think of Aunt March taking Amy to Europe when she always promised she'd take me. I can bear that. Laurie. I can never get over Laurie.
Laurie, your friend. Has something happened to him?
Yes.
Oh.
No, nothing's happened to him, but I'm afraid something's happened to me. He was in New York, and he didn't even come to see me.
What a fool he must be.
No, it's my fault. I thought that... who cares what I thought? I made a mess of it as I do everything.
Joe! Hurry, Miss Joe, or else Mama would make Minnie eat the leftover porridge for lunch.
Poor Minnie.
Oh, don't worry. I will get you there on time.
I want a turn.
I'll get you next. Don't worry.
These porridge, not tough. These words stone cold.
Did you really like it?
I never enjoyed myself so much. I even cried when Aida sang her final aria. I'm going to forget about being a writer. I want to be a world-famous soprano, and my voice will send chills down the spines of hundreds, so they'll give me standing ovations and throw flowers at my feet.
Brava, brava. But I wonder if you will ever make up your mind about your future. At the art museum, you suddenly wanted to become a sculptor. Next thing I know, you want to run away and join the circus.
It's true. I want to see and do it all, so I'll have memories galore to write about. For now, I can only live vicariously through characters in other people's books and plays. Which reminds me, I wanted to add the daughter of an Egyptian king to my latest story, but I can't seem to find my manuscript.
I haven't. You left it behind in the garden. Last week on the day your sister came to visit. I picked it up and I could not put it down until I'd satisfied my curiosity.
You read my story without asking for my permission.
I was afraid that if I would have asked, you would have said no. But here it is. Allow me to return it to you with my compliments.
Did you like it? Really, truly? Please, Professor, your honest opinion.
It is very beautifully written. You have a marvelous way with words. Although,
Go on.
I don't understand when you write such artificial characters who find themselves trapped in such unbelievable plots. Villains, murderers, thieves, highwaymen. And that woman?
My title character?
Yes. I know that hell has no fury like a woman's scorn, but your countess wreaks her revenge with so much spite and no remorse for her own sins.
Many very respectable people make an honest living out of what are called sensation stories, and if there's a demand for it, I don't see any harm in supplying it.
But you should be writing from your own point of view, from ideas that you believe in. Express this emotion wrought from the depths of your soul. There's nothing here of the beautiful young woman I'm privileged to call my friend.
I regret that my fledgling efforts failed to soar to the heights of your literary standards.
Forgive me for my bluntness. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
No. If I can't stand the truth, then I'm worth nothing.
And the truth is, it is so much more to opposites. If only you had the courage to write what you think and feel. Simply say to yourself, while I'm young and filled with hope, I will write what I know and understand now. And maybe later, when I've lived life more fully, then I will write about these poor wretched creatures. But I will make them come alive, like Shakespeare in his plays or Milton in his poetry.
I'll never be a Shakespeare or a Milton.
No. But you can be a Josephine March. You have a genuine talent. And you only need to trust that talent next time you put pen to paper.
Thank you, Professor, for your honest opinion, and I will try to live up to your great expectations.
Miss Josephine, this has arrived for you earlier.
It's Beth. Marmy. I came as soon as I got out of bed. How is she?
She refused to let us send for you any sooner. The doctor's been and gone for the last time, as there's nothing that anyone can do for her.
Oh, sweet Beth.
Every day she seems to lose a little, and never seems to gain it back. It's like the tide jug. When it turns, it goes slowly, but it cannot be stopped.
No, it can't be too late. God will be so cruel as to take her from us.
I think the tide will ebb more easily for her, now that you're here.
By my side. But if God wants me with him.
Don't say such things. You're frightening me.
Oh, poor Joe. You mustn't be afraid. Doesn't that sound funny? Me saying that to you when you've always been the one to say it to me.
I love you so. Please don't leave. Don't leave your Joe.
I've never known how to express myself. And I shouldn't try to anyone but you. I only mean to say that. I've always had a feeling it was never intended that I should live long. I'm not like the rest of you. I never made plans for what I wanted to do when I grew up. I never
wanted to leave, like you all did. And now the hard part is I'm leaving you all. I'm not afraid, but it seems to me that I'll be homesick for you all, even in heaven.
Something to comfort you.
You needn't say anything. Beth is well and happy in heaven, and we mustn't push her back.
Poor little soul. You think you've proved yourself half sick. I'm going to take care of you, so don't cry anymore.
You don't have to go right back, do you?
Well, if you want me to.
I do. So much.
Doesn't say much about it, but I see and feel it in all he says and does. And it makes me so happy and so humble that I don't seem to be the same girl I was.
That's our cool, reserved, and worldly Amy. Truly, love does work miracles.
Does it pain you that your Laurie loves anyone else?
No, Mother. You don't really think I could be so silly and selfish after I refused his love when it was freshest, if not best?
Oh, I knew you were sincere then, Joe. But lately, your writing has ceased. And I thought if your boy came back and asked again, forgive me, Joe. I can't help seeing that you are lonely. And sometimes there's a hungry look in your eyes that goes straight to my heart. So I fancied if your boy came back, he might try to fill that space.
Mother, it is better as it is. I'm glad that Amy has learned to love Laurie. You are right about one thing. I am lonely. Perhaps if Laurie had come back and asked again, I might have said yes. Not because I love him anymore, but because I care more to be loved now than when I went away.
I'm glad of that, Joe. It shows that you're moving on. There are plenty of us to love you until the best lover of all comes to give you your reward.
Mothers are the best lover of all. That's what I'm to be. A literary spinster with a pen for a spouse, a family of stories for children, and 20 years from now, a morsel of fame, perhaps. When I'm old and can't enjoy it, solitary and can't share it, independent and don't want it.
Any letter from Father, girls?
Don't whistle, Joe. It's so boyish. No, Joe. She's your sister. You don't hate her.
You are very naughty, and you can't expect her to forgive you so soon.
You think your temper is the worst in the world, but mine used to be just like it.
I don't think it's fair for some girls to have lots of things, and other girls to have nothing at all.
Men have to work and women have to marry for money. It's a dreadfully unjust world.
$25? Can Aunt Rourke spare this much?
Teacups. She has me painting her teacups. You don't suppose anyone will notice my shoes came out of rag bag, do you?
You got father and mother and each other.
I'm so full of happiness that if Father were only here.
I dream of traveling with you.
Sounds like our girls are becoming rich women.
What a trying world it is. No sooner do we get out of one trouble, down comes another.
How can you expect to live an ordinary life?
You've had scarlet fever, haven't you?
It's like the tide, Joe. When it turns, it goes slowly, and it can't be stopped.
Oh, Joe, the baby's dead. I don't wish to be sent off as if I were in the way.
You are too much alike, and too fond of freedom.
You mustn't be afraid. Doesn't that sound funny? I'm saying that to you.
My dear, do you wish to go out into service to a public boarding house in the middle of New York City?
You didn't see Laurie when he was here?
Really, truly, Jean, I would rather Meg marry for love and be a poor man's wife than marry for riches and lose her self-respect. Does it pain you to learn that your Laurie loves anyone else?
I'm not afraid. But it seems as if I will be homesick for you all, even in heaven.
Always remember, what lies before you and what lies behind you pale in comparison to what lies within you.
You are glad to see me then.
Glad, my blessed boy, words can't express my gladness. Where's Amy?
Oh, your mother's got her done at Meg's. We stopped there on the way. When my wife found out your sister was pregnant.
What? You've gone and got married?
Yes. Guilty as charged. But I will never do it again.
Actually married.
Very much so, thank you.
Mercy on us, what dreadful thing will you do next?
Characteristic, but not exactly a complimentary congratulation.
What can you expect when you take a person's breath away, creeping in like a burglar and letting cats out of the bag like that? Teddy.
How good it is to hear you say Teddy. You know, no one ever calls me that but you.
Well, what does Amy call you?
My lord. Don't I look like a married man and the head of a household? Honestly, Joe, you should be treating me with more respect.
Well, how can I when the mere idea of you married and settled is so irresistibly funny? Now, start at the beginning and tell me how it all happened.
Well, I did it to please Amy.
Fib number 1, Amy did it to please you. Go on and tell the truth if you can, sir. How did you ever get Aunt March to agree?
Now, there's irony in that part of the story, for she responded, over my dead body. Then, she up and died. She gave us her blessing before she passed, and she left you plumpy, with the only admonition being her ashes enshrined on the mantle in the great room.
Well, I did love the old lady in spite of her sharp tongue. Plumfield. It's a fine old house.
And will bring a handsome son. For, of course, you intend to sell it.
Perhaps. But you still haven't told me. When? Where? How?
6 weeks ago, the American consuls in Paris. It was a quiet wedding, of course, because even in our happiness, we never did forget dear little Beth.
Why didn't you let us know afterwards?
Well, we wanted to surprise you. Joe, dear, I'd like to say something, and then we can put it by us forever. I'll never stop loving you. Just the love is altered. It's better as it is. You and Amy have switched places in my heart. That's all, and I can honestly say that it's meant to be. And I can share my heart between Sister Jo and wife Amy, and love you both dearly. Believe me.
I'll believe it with all my heart. Alas, we're all family.
Same old Joe, dropping tears 1 minute, laughing the next. What are you thinking?
I was wondering how you and Amy got on.
Like angels.
Oh, yes, of course. At first. But who rules?
We take turns. In marriage, they say, halves one's rights and doubles one's duties. My wife and I respect ourselves and each other too much to tyrannize or quarrel.
I am sure of that. Amy and you never did quarrel as we used to. She's the sun and I the wind in the fable, and the sun managed the man best, as you remember.
Where is she? Where is my dear old Jo? Love has done much for our little girl.
She's had a good example for her all my life, my dear.
Attention, everyone. Christmas has come early this year. My wife and I have presents for all of you. Gather round, gather round. Ladies and gentlemen, it brings me great pleasure to present the modern works of Amelia Curtis Lawrence. First, for Father and Mother, a favorite from Madame Lawrence's landscape series.
Oh, Amy!
That's beautiful. Our very own orchard house in winter.
Next, for John and Meg, our parents-to-be.
Oh, John, look for the baby's room.
For the baby's room, indeed. And, as my contribution, I come at your service, equipped with hammer and nails, and hang your piece of art wherever you choose. Shall we?
Absolutely. Over the mantel.
Amy, a locket. With a tiny portrait of my Beth.
You like it, Joe?
I love it. Thank you. I'm so happy for you and Laurie.
Really, truly, Joe?
Really, truly.
I have to find Marmee. I meant to ask her if I could have that old picture of Aunt March that hangs above the fireplace. Oh, and I need her to help me pick out some curtains for my new house. Hannah, I do hope you'll help me organize some housekeeping.
Will Miss Amy ride in a carriage and eat off those silver plates kept yonder at the Lawrence mansion? Shouldn't wonder if she drove 6 white horses, ate off of gold plates, and wore diamonds and French lace every day. Or thinks nothing's too good for our Amy. No more there is. Oh, and Miss Joe, this came for you, special delivery. My book! Someone's publishing my book! Oh, heaven help us! There's no letter with it. Who delivered it? A foreign gentleman. I thought he was one of Amy's European friends dropping off the wedding gift. I told him that Miss March and Mr. Laurie were living next door. Hannah, you didn't! What did he say then? He said to tell Miss March that slow and steady wins the race. And then he had a train to catch. Friedrich! I got the book, but when I didn't hear back from you, I thought you hated it.
Oh, no. Reading your book was like opening a window into your heart. His editor snapped it up immediately. I said such news I have to give to her myself. Silly impulse, perhaps.
No, not silly at all. Friedrich, I'm so glad to see you. Oh, come and meet my family. I've told them so much about you.
Oh, thank you, but I have to catch a train. I'm going out to the West where the schools are young. Do they need professors?
Oh, we need a professor here, too. You see, my aunt left me Plumfield. It's not a field, it's a house, actually. A rather large house, and it's not good for anything but a school. And I want a good school. One that would be open to anyone who wanted to learn. And you are such a fine teacher. Is there nothing I can say to make you stay?
I must admit I was hoping that there would be a reason for me to stay once I got here, but allow me to congratulate you on the celebration of your marriage.
No, that's my sister. That's Amy. Amy and Laurie, actually. No, Friedrich, no, I'm not married. Please, don't go so far away.
Joe, such a little name for a woman with such a big heart. Can you make room in your heart for old Fritz?
Yes.
But I've nothing to give but a full heart and these empty hands.